listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Hispanic Chamber Connection. This is a radio program that features and promotes members of the Texas Gulf Coast Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. The show is broadcast from Lone Star Community Radio in downtown Conroe. It can be heard at 104.5 and 106.1 FM on the internet or at irlonestar.com. Normally you can watch us on Facebook Live, but we got a little bit of a technical delay there, so the video will be coming soon. My name is Tom Brody, and I'm the Vice President of Membership for the Chamber. This program is sponsored by the Amel Agency, who's an executive partner in the Chamber and a full-service residential and commercial insurance agency. A quick update on Dr. Carlos Sanchez. He is out of rehab and is resting at home. This has been a long 2-month ordeal for Dr. C, and he very much appreciates all of the prayers and support he's been receiving, and we look forward to having him back with us very soon. Today's guests, we have two guests. It's CD and Margaret Womack. They are owners of Team Womack Realtors. CD and Margaret, how are you guys doing today?
Doing good.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, we were able to sneak out of a Hispanic Chamber meeting, get up here between the rainstorms, so hopefully we're all nice and dry here. So we'll be talking to the Womacks here in a few minutes, but first I want to describe really the purpose of this radio program. The Hispanic Chamber Connection is one of the many benefits of membership in our chamber. So if you're a member and haven't appeared on this radio program, please send me an email to tom@tombrody.biz, and we'll get you on the calendar. We've had a great response from all of our members who've been on the show recently, and so we've really filled up. And so that's a great problem to have, but we are booked through the first week of June. So if you want to get on this program, please contact me, and we'll get you on the schedule. We also have a radio show in Spanish. It's on Thursdays at 10 o'clock on AM station 920, and that's also booked up through May. So definitely you want to get on the radio to actually get your business build your business visibility. And that's one of the things that Dr. Carlos always says, that the Hispanic Chamber has 4 goals in mind for its members. Number 1, visibility. Number 2, business connections. 3 is targeted education. And 4 is member advocacy. And I can think of no better way to fulfill all those 4 goals than to have you and your business featured on one of our radio programs. We also have an email newsletter that goes out every week, informing our members and guests about upcoming meetings and events. And if you'd like to be added to the newsletter, or if you're a member and currently aren't receiving the newsletter, please send me an email, tom@tombrody.biz, and we'll get you hooked up. Also, if you have any questions that you'd like for us to ask our guests, please text them to me at 713-906-3710. So with all that out of the way, CD and Margaret, tell us a little bit about what you guys do.
I talk to a lot of people. I try to, at least, and gosh, that's everything from knocking on doors to telephone calls, emails, and what have you. I joke that I'm the right brain of our organization. I'm the goofy networker, social butterfly, and anyway, I will ask people about their real estate needs if they're thinking of moving or if they know of someone that might be. And Margaret does what I'm very thankful for her doing, dotting the I's and crossing the T's and the detail stuff. And we've found over the years that it's like those are 2 full-time jobs. And
Absolutely.
I'm very thankful that she does the left brain stuff.
Okay, very good. So are you guys primarily residential, or do you sell commercial real estate as well?
We have always been residential. We'll probably stay that way.
Okay.
And I've heard, too, that one needs to more or less choose one or the other. There are a number of realtors who do both, but, yeah, we stick to the residential.
Okay. Well, very good. So do you specialize in one part of town? I mean, I've heard, like you said, realtors say, well, I can work anywhere, but I would think that would make you not as well prepared as someone who's concentrated in one area.
We've done some deals in the Montrose, helped some clients there in the Montrose area and downtown, Katy and all over. But I've said over the last few years that our area is the northwest quadrant.
Okay.
I guess that's east of Katy, and so anyway, we do have. We're looking at even sharpening that focus over the years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
More just the spring and Woodlands. That's our focus.
Okay.
But we'll be helping someone. A referral I got from Facebook, incidentally. We'll be getting someone. They're not real sure where they're going to be, but we'll help them.
Okay.
Wherever their job takes them.
Right. So that's interesting. You mentioned Facebook. Do you get a lot of leads coming from Facebook?
We have had a few.
Okay.
But this was a pleasant surprise. But we're out there. I'm out there.
Right. Okay. Well, very good. So, what I guess I always ask this of people: what convinced you, or what guided you to get into the business that you're in right now?
It's funny that you asked that. This is sort of my second lifetime in real estate. My father was a real estate broker, and he wanted one of us to get in. And I, over the years, I've been a full-time pastor for a number of years, and I liked the people aspect of helping people out. And now I literally help them out and help them out, in and out, I guess.
Yeah.
But Margaret and I both like the personal aspect, helping people, especially families.
Right.
And it's a good work. We enjoy it.
Yeah. So you mentioned being a pastor. How long were you that?
I was that for a number of years, 10 years or more.
Wow. in the Houston area?
In Arkansas,
Okay.
and Georgia.
Okay.
Pastored
Wow.
some in Georgia as well.
Yeah. What brought you guys to Houston?
Well, I made a very, very good decision to marry my best friend. She brought me to Houston. One of the best decisions ever made.
Well, very good.
All right.
Very good. So one of the things, I'm not an expert in realtors, but I would think that husband and wife teams are not that common in real estate, are they?
We see some. There's a number. There was a realtor I knew. He said that he decided he'd rather have a marriage partner than a business partner. So it didn't work out so well for them. But Margaret and I complement each other pretty well.
And I think that may be the key, that because he and I, our strengths are so opposite,
Right.
that we don't tend to step on each other's toes. When I'm doing as he says, dotting the I, crossing the T's, contracts, etc., he doesn't say, "Oh, I don't think you should use that form." Yeah.
Okay.
Because he knows better. Don't do that. And with his marketing, etc. Yeah, no, I may give my opinion, but I mean, he's the marketing guy.
Okay.
And so I think if you have two people, they have equal, they're both strong in the same area. I can't even imagine. I think you would tend to butt heads a lot.
Right.
But I think that because of our strengths, and our weaknesses. Weakness for me would be the marketing part of it.
Okay.
He feels that. And then, yeah.
So you both got kind of know your lanes, right?
Right.
And you got keeping your specialty areas and your areas of expertise and that. So you're a more adhesive team because there's kind of separation of activities.
You talked about the market area and whatnot. She's been telling me for years that I've needed to narrow my focus, but I tend to wander around. And I heard a marketing person who spoke with us not long ago talk about an approach that he characterized as spray and pray.
Yes.
And was very scattered. And that's, Margaret's told me I need to focus a bit more. So
Right.
we are focused more on the spring and the Woodlands area.
Okay. Well, very good.
Although we do have clients from all over.
Yeah. So what's the best way to reach you guys? Is it phone, text, email?
We make every effort, Margaret and I, to answer and correspond in triplicate: text, email, and phone call.
Okay.
with a lead we got recently, someone said, well, they're millennials, so you want to be sure and text them. And a few years ago, I was saying, why does anybody do that? Why can't they just leave a voicemail? I don't know. But anyway, we try to communicate in triplicate.
Okay.
Text, phone, email. But
Okay. So what is the best? What are some of those things? What's your phone numbers?
oh, good. Our phone number, mine is 832-876-4454.
Okay.
And
Margaret, what's your number?
713-305-6232.
Okay. And these are both your cell phones, right?
That's
these
correct.
Are,
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And you guys got an email address?
Yes, we do.
Probably the best one would be our team one, and it's Team Womack at rogeexperience.com.
Okay. Very good. All right. Well, good. So one of the things I've also heard is that there are seasons for real estate, and I didn't ever realize that until just recently. So talk to us a little bit about the seasons.
Well, people will speak of the market picking up or slowing down, and spring is a time definitely like that in which people are more out and moving about, and certainly summer is the last real push to get the kids in the school or school district of their choice.
Right.
So things do tend to pick up, but we have found that winter and the holidays, although it allegedly slows down, we've been pretty busy.
Yeah,
around.
I think statistically, if you look at our closings and what have you, September, October, November are some of our strongest months.
Really?
And I think some of that, well, going back to, is when is a good time. If you have it priced right and you have it staged well, it's going to sell.
Right.
It doesn't matter when.
Okay.
Now, if you're overpriced, you're going to be a little better off in probably a spring market because there's a lot of people looking.
Okay.
And you just have more people that might come through and look at
Yeah.
it. But, it's just,
I've heard Margaret say before, if you're overpriced, you're doing some great marketing for other houses in the area. You're helping them to sell faster. And that's,
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Well, very good. So I guess when we're talking about the seasons, there's not a specific seasons to buy or sell. It's just seasons that people are doing both.
I would say so.
Okay.
yeah. I think people often think that, winter or once you get past the kids are in school, okay, well, nobody's really interested. Or they think during the holidays, oh, forget it, I'm taking my home off the market.
Right.
Well, the problem there is, if there are people moving with children, they're going to move between the semesters.
Right.
They're going to be looking during the holidays.
Okay.
And the advantage there is you have less homes on the market because so many people thought exactly that. Oh, I need to take it off the market. Nobody's looking right now.
Interesting.
So your competition is less.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I say, it's been one of our better times.
Okay.
Because, again, you price it right, stage it right, market it right, it's going to sell.
Yeah. Okay. Well, very good. So, a couple things about y'all's background. Margaret, I see that you've obtained the Certified Home Stager title. Tell us what that means and how's that help in selling a house?
The designation is just that I've done the required hours that the certification requires. And how it, what it helps is when I go in with to a potential seller, I'm able to, walk through the rooms with them, tell them what needs to go, what needs to stay. Sometimes those are very awkward because people are quite proud of some of their stuff.
Right.
But you have to explain to them that there's a difference between how people live in a house and how they market a house, because it becomes a product when they put it on the market. And so it's no longer, you're not living it, or you're not presenting it as the way as you live. I mean, let's face it, we don't, Lord, our house would not be ready if anybody came in tonight. to market it. It would take me time to make it look like a product.
Yeah.
And so, it's just a matter of helping sellers get it to where it is looking, to its utmost potential, that it will appeal. I try to keep, very up to date on what buyers are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I'm able to hopefully make, if they need to make changes, very cost-effective changes. People don't want to put a lot of money in a house that they're getting ready to sell.
Sure.
So, that's basically it. If you have a home staged, and there's varying amounts of staging. I mean, anywhere from just accessories to you can bring in, furnishings. There's a whole gamut. But homes that are staged sell, and you see a lot of statistics, but anywhere from 7 to 10% more,
Wow,
which
really?
is a pretty good chunk of change.
Absolutely.
Faster. I mean, I've seen, 50% faster, whatever. It's going to be a quicker sell.
Yeah.
And I can think of 2 instances off the cuff in which we followed someone they were trying to sell their home, and Margaret, bragging on her, she did her magic and just made some small additions, and the home had an offer very quickly.
Wow.
And also, she's giving her all the props here. We've taken some vacant homes, and she's put plants, books, and stuff. And when some people will come in to visit, they'll say, "Does someone live here?" So that's huge. We really like to hear that,
Right?
Because a vacant home won't sell as well because people can't tend to visualize seeing their stuff in there.
Right.
But Margaret will have just enough stuff in there where people will ask that question.
Yeah. Because that's what I've heard is very important, to get past somebody else's stuff that may be such a distraction that they can't visualize anything but that stuff.
Right.
To make it more kind of neutral and where they can kind of visualize their stuff in place of the items that are there. So, I mean, it does make a huge difference. I remember I sold my house, and they came in and staged it. And first I was going, what? No. But then when I saw the pictures, I was like, it's a different house. I mean, It's just amazing how much that works. So that's awesome. CD, I understand that you have a background in conflict negotiations. It sounds like that would be very handy in real estate.
I felt as if I had a lot of on-the-job training in that regards as a pastor.
Oh, I bet, yes.
Yeah, all kinds of domestic issues and what have you. So we joke about stepping on a landmine. You can do that as a pastor or as a realtor with some very personal stuff like that. But we do try to stay out of some conflicts like that, and it's a good thing. Negotiating
he is by far the better negotiator. He is very good at keeping his emotions out of a situation.
Okay.
Sometimes I have been known to get a little upset with either the seller, the buyer, whoever the other person is, or the other agent, and he's the one who steps in, takes everything out of it, and handles the negotiation very well.
And it's a challenge.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
I was told a number of years ago the biggest mistake realtors make is getting their emotions involved, and it's continues to amuse me and amaze me sometimes when professional persons, lender, termite inspector, what have you, they will nearly get in fights.
Really?
And I've said, we're in a very terse situation not too long ago, and I said, okay, we've all got to keep our eyes on the ball, which is to sell your house as quickly as possible. That's the goal,
right.
And we managed to do that.
Wow. Okay. Well, we've been talking with CD and Margaret Womack, a husband and wife realtor team, and when we come back, we'll talk about one of the biggest misconceptions about realtors. Stay with us. You don't want to miss this.
A Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Does your company have needs that can be met by an employee who is dependable, hardworking, enthusiastic, motivated, cooperative, respectful, and punctual? Conroe Independent School District Special Education Department can meet your needs by connecting you with potential employees that have been preparing for a lifetime of employment. We have numerous individuals seeking paid and unpaid work experiences. If your company is interested in seeing how we can meet your business needs, call Conroe ISD Special Education Department to find the best employees for you at 936-709-7671.
The Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service has been dedicated to educating Texans for over a century. In 1915, the Extension Program was established under the federal Smith-Lever Act to deliver university knowledge and agricultural research findings directly to the people. Ever since, AgriLife Extension programs have addressed the emerging issues of the day, serving diverse populations across the state. Texans turn to Extension for solutions in horticulture, agriculture, 4-H and youth, and family and consumer sciences. Extension agents respond not only with answers, but also with resources and services that result in significant returns on investment to boost the economy. Join us Fridays at 1 o'clock for the AgriLife Extension Hour.
The Hispanic Chamber Connection is sponsored by the Yamel Insurance Agency, located at 719 Sawdust Road, Suite 103, the Woodlands, Texas. The Yamel Agency is a family-owned insurance agency that provides home, life, automobile, and umbrella insurance coverage. Since 2006, the Yamel Agency has been a bilingual insurance service for businesses and private citizens in the Montgomery County area. For more information on the Yamel Insurance Agency, please visit the Hispanic Chamber Connection at www.irlonestar.com/HCC. The Yamel Insurance Agency is available by telephone at 832-525-5656 or online www.yamelagency.com. The Yamel Insurance Agency is a sponsor of this program, and the Hispanic Chamber Connection thanks you.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the Hispanic Chamber Connection. This is a radio program that features and promotes members of the Texas Gulf Coast Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. My name is Tom Brody, and I'm Vice President of Membership for the Chamber. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask our guests today, please text them to me at 713-906-3710. So, as I mentioned before we went to the break, we're going to talk about the biggest misconceptions about realtors. So I've got two experienced realtors here, so whoever wants to answer that, please take over.
I can. Just recently, last week, I was talking with someone who was getting their license, and tell me about it. I said, well, what came to my mind was a broker I had who said, are you a real estate agent first, or are you a sales professional? And the answer was, you are a sales professional first.
Okay.
And I think Dr. Carlos at the Chamber is all over this, helping people to network, connect, and he reminds us all that we're sales professional, and
right.
that's what I've been, I guess, my whole adult life, still is. I'd say that's a big misconception, and it's like a lot of people. I think Gary Keller even talked about that he thought, I think he may have graduated from the prestigious Texas A&M School of Real Estate, and he was going to hang his shingle out and all these people would come to him. But then he developed a system where he's calling people the Rolodex and what have you. And that's I'm sure it's that way in insurance and a lot of things. You have to remind people that you're in business still.
Right.
I'd say that. And then I'd say some people will say that technology is going to replace us and that kind of thing. I think that technology just streamlines the process.
Right.
And if anything, I would say technology would make the sales professional more important, not less.
Yeah, and I think with that is like the shows like on HGTV, which got nothing against them. I like them. I watch most of them. But I'm often saying, like, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
You know, you don't show 3 homes and say, okay, choose
Pick.
one.
Yeah, right.
So I think there's a very big misconception of what actually happens in the process. And, I mean, if anybody's watched any of those, they think, oh, yeah, pretty easy.
Right.
I was talking with a real estate expert, and I said, man, I don't know what happened. I showed this person, I bet I showed him 50 homes, and he interrupted me. He said, well, that was your first mistake. You showed him 50 homes.
Well, yeah, I can relate to that. Yeah, you give somebody too many choices and they can't decide. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you learn that.
Yeah.
That's a learned mistake.
Yeah.
Don't do that again.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, I know. I used to work in scuba retail, and it was the same thing. If you showed someone, 6 different types of fin, they can't decide because it's too many choices. So you learn that to narrow them down, and then if they want to see more, then you go, but you don't just overwhelm them at the beginning. Yeah. So you guys work for Realty One Group, right? And I've not heard of them before. So tell me a little bit about who they are.
Realty One Group started in California in 2005. So
Relatively new.
relatively new compared with some of the ancient ones out there. But had a lot of growth. Entrepreneur Magazine, I want to say for the last 4 years, we've been ranked as one of the fastest growing companies.
Really? Wow.
Franchises, because that's what entrepreneur, they're dealing with franchise opportunities.
Right.
They've gone from, in 2005 to, I don't know how many they started with. I'm sure just a handful of agents at that point. Now up to 11,000 agents across the United States, just moved into Canada. So a lot of growth.
So they're in every state in the U.S.?
I think up to 35.
Okay.
There's still some states they haven't moved into.
Okay, I would think Montana and some of those states.
Some of those, it's
not too many folks there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm giving Margaret some more chops here. She was vice president of the Women's Council of Realty's Montgomery County area. And she just told me we're going to join Realty One.
Really?
Because
Okay.
I really like Abby and Jill and
our brokers.
and our brokers.
Okay.
It's a young. I mean, we had been with.
We're the old folks.
Well,
aren't we?
yeah, we had been with another very established brokerage, large brokerage, and I mean, we're talking 500 agents in the office,
Oh,
and
wow.
so it really attracted me to get with them as they started. I think I was the 4th agent, he was the 5th agent, and I want to say 97 is the number of agents they have right now.
Okay.
So that's just in the last 2 years.
Yeah, explosive.
Wow.
I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of growth, but they're young ideas, new ways to approach things,
Okay.
fun.
Yeah.
Good. So you kind of touched on that, but talk about some of the advantages of using a realtor from a big firm, or in this case, a more innovative firm versus an individual realtor.
Well, you want me to take it?
Go ahead.
Well, I think that it's not so much important, whether it's a big firm or a small firm. I really don't think that makes a big difference.
Okay.
It's the agent themselves.
And the big firms even say that,
Yeah.
that it's the agent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, very good. So I know that picking a realtor, there's hundreds and thousands of them out there. So what kind of advice can you give someone who's looking to pick a realtor? Is there like specific questions that they should be asking to try to gauge a realtor's experience, or see if they're going to be a good fit?
Certainly ask for some testimonials, which we're happy to give.
Okay.
Success stories, as it were.
Right.
Yeah, I would want to know, whether, if it's in particular, if you're selling in a particular area, what's your track record? What, what have you sold in the area? What's the percentage of the price you got for the home?
Right.
How long did it stay on the market? that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Those are real. And then, the other part is just, you're hiring. You interview the realtor.
Right.
Find out if it's a good fit for you.
Yeah.
The advantage in CD and I, we're very different, and there are some clients that really gravitate more to him,
Okay.
and there's a few who gravitate to me, and so we feel like we kind of are able to, serve a wide range of people
Sure.
that might be turned off because I'm not exactly the most outgoing person, or they may think he's too much a ham, don't want to work with him.
So
You
talk
know?
to Margaret. You want to talk to
Yeah, and so it works well.
Yeah. Very good. So, who do you think are the most challenging clients, buyers or sellers, and why do you think that?
We have had many. We've heard many realtors over the years say that, it's a real bane to us to deal with an unrealistic seller that won't come off the price. And well, there's been 200 showings and nothing yet, and that's tough. And then we've had some buyers that can't decide, so those are very tough.
Yeah.
A buyer who you find the perfect house for them 2 or 3 times. I heard a realtor lament that they had spent a tank of gas on a client and they wouldn't decide or backed out.
So what can you guys do to try to help people decide? I mean, if you've got, they told you what they wanted and you've checked all the boxes and said this is exactly what you want. I mean, is there things that you can kind of help them see that they're not seeing?
Those are magic words there, but you said,
right?
And we try to, definitely keep an inventory criteria. I've even drawn a picture. I said, now this looks to me like what you've described as your perfect house.
Right.
The criterion, even done a visual.
Wow. Okay.
But,
Yeah, and I mean, often, you get them to rank the houses, and well, why is this better than this house? And you always want them to go at least with a base criteria of these are must, these are deal killers. If it's not here,
Okay.
I don't want the house.
Sure.
And then these are, gee, it'd be nice if it had a pool.
Right.
Or if it had an outdoor kitchen,
Okay.
those, not a deal killer if it doesn't have it, but, and if you have that, when you do find that house, and you can say, well, it's not only got all the things that, or 90% of the things that, you felt like it had to have, but look at everything it had that were wish, I wish it would have.
Okay.
And you just, it's a matter of, just going back and saying, okay, this is what you said you wanted, and this is where we are.
and sometimes people really don't know what they want. I think that's a lot of what our job is maybe the first step is getting them in the car or whatever, and then finding out what they don't want.
Right.
Well, you said you don't want this, and that's a big starting point.
Okay. Oh, very good.
And with some sellers who were kind of unrealistic, it's, well, we've had so much time on the market now and not getting any bites, as it were. And I think the market's telling us we need to do a price reduction
Okay.
of however much.
Right. Okay. Well, very good. Well, everyone, we've been talking with CD and Margaret Womack, a husband and wife realtor team. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the perils of buying and selling real estate without a realtor. You don't want to miss this.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That's Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on the computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. A Lone Star Community Radio. Broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
The Hispanic Chamber Connection is sponsored by the Emel Insurance Agency, located at 719 Sawdust Road, Suite 103, the Woodlands, Texas. The Emel Agency is a family-owned insurance agency that provides home, life, automobile, and umbrella insurance coverage. Since 2006, the Emel Agency has been a bilingual insurance service for businesses and private citizens in the Montgomery County area. For more information on the Emel Insurance Agency, please visit the Hispanic Chamber Connection at www.irlonestar.com/HCC. The Emel Insurance Agency is available by telephone at 832-525-5656 or online www.emelagency.com. The Emel Insurance Agency is a sponsor of this program, and the Hispanic Chamber Connection thanks you.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show, with monthly and weekly slots available in Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the Hispanic Chamber Connection. This is a radio program that features and promotes members of the Texas Gulf Coast Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. My name is Tom Brody. I'm the Vice President of Membership for the Chamber. If you have any questions you'd like to ask our guests, CD and Margaret Womack, please text them to me at 713-906-3710. As we went to break, we talked about that we were going to discuss the perils of buying and selling real estate without a realtor. So I'm going to turn it over to you guys and tell us why. First of all, is it legal to do that in Texas? I know some states you have to have a realtor.
It certainly is legal so
Okay.
far as I know in Texas. We just picked up, I was talking during the break, I said we just picked up a FSBO, and Tom looked at me,
What's a FSBO? Yeah.
That is a for sale by owner. We just picked one up.
Okay.
And someone had tried to sell. The statistics I've heard over the years is that about 90% of the people who try to sell a house on their own will wind up calling a realtor. And Margaret, what were you telling me about the...
Oh, well, just an interesting that the CEO, there's a website called FSBO.com. And, it's where people list their homes. They're able to list them.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
people can see them on the internet. But he was the CEO, and he tried to sell his, it was a Manhattan penthouse. And, of course, he tried to sell it as, a FSBO.
Right.
And after, I don't know, it was 3 months or 4 months, he ended up hiring a realtor.
Wow.
And the realtor got him, it was 8% higher than what he had originally listed it for.
Really?
So it more than made, I don't know what the commission was, because you never know commissions.
Sure.
But I suspect it more than made up for the commission, and he made a little extra on top of it.
Yeah, I bet.
So
Yeah.
that, to me, that's like, wow, okay. You ended up doing exactly
What you tried to avoid. Yeah.
Well, what your website is encouraging, people to go out and do.
That's pretty ironic there. So, how long does it typically take buyers that you've worked with to find and purchase a home? I mean, what kind of time are we talking about?
Well, again, I'm thinking about what my professional friend said. That was your first mistake, showing them 50 houses.
Well, yeah, right.
You don't want to do that.
Well, I think if you've done a really good job of trying to ask a lot of good questions, what do they want to, is commuting the most important? What are the amenities they want near them, school district, et cetera? If you're able to narrow it down that way, then obviously the amount of homes to choose from is going to be less.
Right.
Therefore, the amount of time you're looking is less. But I would say on average, if you're, this isn't like going out one time a week, but if you're out a couple times, 3 times a week looking, probably 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Should do
Okay.
it. We try to discourage anybody, unless there's extenuating circumstances, just to not look at more than 4, maybe 5 homes a time,
Oh, okay.
because they absolutely run together.
Oh, sure.
And it doesn't matter how many good notes you take, it's like, wait, which one was that? And unless there's something really unusual about the house, you tend to, they all blend together.
Right.
And I've heard stories of some realtors who I showed 22 homes today or over
Today.
the
Oh,
weekend
wow.
or something, and I just wonder how that's possible.
Well, and I think we have. We've shown 10 or 12, and there are times somebody flies in, and they're on a very tight schedule. You don't
Right.
have a choice.
Yeah.
You're cramming as much as you can into the entire day, and then the next day you hit it again if you didn't
And then
find
tell
anything.
them about the grand piano.
Yeah, we had just a lovely couple that they were coming from Denver, and she'd sent me her, what she wanted, how big the house, etc., and kind of just an average, kind of wanted a pool, but she didn't know if he was a pilot, maybe Kingwood, Woodlands, something close to the airport. And we start looking, and the first house we walk into, she says, well, there's no place for the grand piano. And I'm like, well,
You didn't tell us about the grand piano.
Oh, goodness.
geez, that was kind of an
Back to the
important,
drawing board.
Yeah.
because you'd be surprised how many homes do not have a spot for a
Yeah.
grand piano.
I wouldn't think that would be something that a lot of people have access to. So
No.
you tell us, you guys, what's the best way to contact you, phone numbers and all that stuff again?
832-876-4454.
And 713-305-6232.
Great. Okay, I just want to make sure we got that out there again. And you guys are on the web too. And what's the web address?
TeamWomack.com.
Okay, very good. One of the things I want to talk and see, trying to think of what that question was. You talked about trying to show people a lot of different houses. How many clients do you typically work with, like active clients at a time?
We would prefer a limit to about 5.
Okay.
And we might farm out after that if we want to give our top focus and attention to the 5.
Okay.
And,
Very
and
good.
some of that varies. That if you have 5 sellers and
right.
you've got them on the market, they're not going to take the huge amount of time
Right.
that 5 buyers are going to take.
Sure.
5 buyers are going to be real demanding on your time.
Right.
Even with 2 of us going in 2 different directions.
Yeah.
So it kind of depends. Because we do pretty much 50-50 buyers and sellers.
Okay.
5 is probably that. We tended to think that's kind of a magic number for
Okay.
us at one time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, real quick, I know that Harvey was something that really impacted all of the Houston area. In the areas that you guys are, do you see the impact of that lessening, or are people still looking for houses that to replace the homes that they lost?
Pretty much. I think we've gotten past it.
Okay.
The only place we still see where it's a Harvey related is that somebody will be selling a house, and then you got to do a little research. Okay, pull up some information. Okay, well, it flooded. Now,
No.
do you want to take the risk? It's the only time it ever flooded was Harvey. You don't have to have flood insurance. Probably be a good idea because
Yeah.
you're in Houston.
Right.
But that's what we come up to.
Okay. Well, very good. Well, guys, we've been talking with C.D. and Margaret Womack, a husband and wife realtor team. And if you're looking to buy or sell a house, please contact them at teamwomack.com. And we will see you guys next week.